we should be live. Now let me just check that. It's always a delay before I can tell whether we're live or not, unfortunately. But yes, I think we are live.
We are.
Good to go. Brilliant. Hello everybody, and of course I'm terribly sorry for that delay. That was an internet issue in my area. But luckily it was able to be fixed. So here we are, and today I'm joined by our other intern. Which would you? What would you like to call? What would you like me to call you?
Mixer's fine. Matt, either one.
All right then. Yeah, I'll call you Matt.
That was easier.
Hello everybody. Yes. Let's just check. Can you hear Matt? All right.
Hi. Hello. Hello everyone.
And yes, so yeah, they look. Zan, thank you. They look amazing. Oh, of course. I'm terribly sorry. I need to go live on. Sorry, I need to go live on Discord.
Hello, Zan.
So hopefully you can see. If you watch the stream on Discord, then you can. Then your talking won't be delayed from the video. So hopefully that's all right. And just check that that's working. But yeah.
Oh, I see.
Hello. Oh, there's lots of you. I'm not going to list all your names, but it's good to see you all. Lots and lots of familiar faces. And so, of course, let's jump straight in. And today, as you can see here, we are working on the Adunakhori unit, long awaited for Harad. And these are your dark Numenoreans. And of course, they are not entirely my own design. They are this iconic piece by John Howe, the concept artist for Lord of the Rings. I couldn't not use that. That looks perfect. That looks.
That man is a legend.
Oh, absolutely. And so, of course, this one is largely finished, actually, in terms of detail. I'm going to do some sort of armour engraving and stuff. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to copy this guy and do a sort of second variant. And I don't think you've seen me do that before, where I used exactly the same pose and I just edit it a little bit. But hopefully that will mean you can see some more progress in one stream. And Kuba, will the Black Numenoreans be a separate faction, or is this a unit for Harad / Gondor? This is for Harad, as you can see up the top here. And it's yes. So at the moment, as it stands at the moment, the Numenoreans of Umbar will just be for Harad. They won't be standalone as of now. And I'm just going in with this sword first. This sword just needs, basically before I do any copying and I paste him again to do the second variant, I want to just finish up everything that isn't really going to be changed, like the sword blade and stuff. It means I don't have to do it 3 times. Enzo saying Mordor and Harad will have these guys. No, these are not evil Numenoreans. These are just the King's men, okay? And the King's men don't like Sauron either, because he brought about the ruin of Numenor. Of course, they were his followers then, but after, since Numenor fell, they've been living down south, and so they don't, they hate him. Of course, they hate the faithful Gondorians much more. So they're neither good nor bad, really.
Hello there.
Hello.
Oh, Elegy, hello.
Hi. I joined.
Good, glad you could make it.
Yeah, I was out for a walk and I was waiting for your notification to come, and then you were delayed. I was I can take some more time out. And then you started, so here we are.
Oh, I'm glad it all managed to work out.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, so I'm just going to do that. If you are new, yeah, I'm just going to do the sword quickly, and then we're going to copy him, and we're going to do some variant work. A bit behind on the chat, apologies.
This is one of your masterpieces.
I'm quite happy with it. I bet the design is largely down to John Howe, so...
Yeah, it's understandable, but, you know, it's still great.
Thank you. Thank you. And so yeah, swords are actually quite difficult in terms of getting that lighting right, because they're not all one colour. They have lighting sort of bouncing around and reflecting and stuff. So if I turn that opacity down, then I can get some better blending. Swords are a tricky one. But then again, of course, Frusty's going to be modelling this. So, you know, all he needs to know from a concept point of view is that he's got a sword with a shiny blade. So the blade doesn't necessarily even have to be perfect, because, you know, there's not a huge amount to convey in that regard.
I can't even draw straight swords. It's either too wobbly or I just use the line tool, and then the line tool looks just too fake.
I mean, a good tip, actually, I've only found this out recently, actually. If you hold shift on the brush, it means you draw either straight down like that. I'm doing this, I'm still drawing straight, or that way. And that's a much easier way of getting than using the line tool, which I didn't know till recently.
Yeah.
And then I guess you can, if you do that on a separate layer, then you can transform it and warp it to fit this, you know, this angle.
Yeah.
This looks really like a Gondor unit, Creeper Kings. Oh, that's good. It's good you brought that, because these guys are sort of Harad's answer to the Fountain Guard. And we know for a fact that the helmets of the Fountain Guard were Numenorean artifacts. You know, the ones you see in the films with the white wings and things. They were Numenorean, you know, craftsmanship. So it makes sense that if that was a prestigious thing on Numenor, these guys would look similar. That's my theory. And I wanted to use that, and John Howe's doing that, so it must be alright. Numenorean true neutrality, we don't like anyone. Good way of putting it, Zahn. They're a secluded folk. And just to go over their gameplay, for anyone who doesn't know, they will be a sub-faction of Harad, and you'll only get their units once you conquer or subjugate them. In this case, you know, Umbar and any settlements around it will probably be owned by them. And once you do that, you get, at the moment, there's only 4 Umbar units in their roster. But I'd definitely be in favour of more, but that's what it is at the moment. Joe Schnatz, who is going to model these bad boys? That will be Frusty the Legend, I'm very pleased to say. I'm really excited to see how they turn out.
Hope is back in the chat. Our loyal YouTuber fan.
Yeah, no, indeed. They will make Harad a glorious faction. They'll make up for the fact that there's no Mumakil in their first release. Unfortunately, Mumakil will require a whole ton of custom animations, so you might not see them for a while. I think, yeah, this must be Harad's only truly armoured unit. Because I think their playstyle is more of a sort of light shock, you know, high damage, but poor armour which will make for an interesting playstyle, I think. Can't wait to try them out. Zan, I really love the different layer on the shoulders, etc. You made it look like they have. You made it have its own kind of shape. Let's stray away from the concept of John. Yeah, I think it's a great fancy. Well, actually, I did use them like this actually at the beginning, but our historical advisor, our practicality advisor, Ulta, said they felt a bit too crude compared to these quite gothic gauntlets. So I've made them. I prefer this actually over the, because this, it looks good, but it looks quite blocky. Nasty Smith, are the Haradrim in the mod now? Not yet. That'll be the next update. That'll be the next update for you once Frusty has finished the entire faction, which will be about, like, you know, you never know. With Frusty, it'll probably be tomorrow, but disclaimer: it won't actually be tomorrow. But
yeah, we're actually aiming at waiting for the end of the working of Mordor from Mega Blue Iron and Frosty as well. So we'll probably wait some, I don't know, 1 or 2 months till the next update, something like that.
Oh, I'm excited.
I shouldn't give out these dates. Actually.
Yeah, we're not meant to. We're not meant to say that.
It just came out, slipped out, you know.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Adrian.
Hello.
How are y'all doing?
Oh, we're doing great. And I am completely neglecting the chat as always, but
yeah, no worries. I can check it out for you. Yeah, there will be a good team.
Mordor, Harad, and the Easterlings.
Yeah.
I think evil is going to get a sudden balance. They're going to tip the balance. Once things like trolls and Mumakil are added, they're going to be like a scary, scary force.
Yeah, indeed.
And
I can't wait to see the Wayne Riders.
Oh yeah.
The chariots.
Gondor has nothing. Pathetic.
That's how it should be.
Oh no, that that is dangerous words, Matt. Yeah, you should be lucky that wasn't Arnor what you were talking about there.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
Because Arnor is my favourite, and we shall. But no, of course.
Always giving the sad face when getting remembered that Arnor is not coming for a long time.
Well, you know what? Actually, I mean, Aldo was saying the other day that after he finishes Kamul, he's gonna start on Arnor, which brought a smile to my face, I have to say. Even though they're quite low priority. Bless Alta. Indeed.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah, it's nice to see, new people come onto the team and sort of get stuck in. Just like Matt.
Hi.
And people like Ulta and Haganaz and Frusty, they're all fairly new, but they got stuck in. And that's when you shine. Okay, so to be honest, I think I'm just going to do these belts, and then we'll make a second variant. A little bit of highlighting on the belts.
Messi asking, is Arnor a kingdom in the Third Age? No, it isn't, but you can make it. If it's your dream, you can make it.
So, Elijah, as you said, it's basically fan service, right?
Yeah, it is. It's a Maeron service, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we're going to have to stretch the timelines a little bit just to get all our custom generals alive at the same time. Like to have Faramir and Boromir as captains of Gondor while we have someone else who died before them or something. So I guess it's not a stretch to say you can reform Arnor at some point.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we are gonna stretch time, those kind of like people's lives, because it all depends on how much we can change about the turnings for the
That's
campaign.
true. That's true.
So if we can, make one turn for a month, then we are set and we don't have any issues. And if we don't, then we'll have to, stretch some people's lifespan.
Yeah, indeed.
Don't forget to make LeBron an Arab general. Well, we're gonna make Kobe Bryant, no LeBron, in memory.
Mermaids too.
Custom general for Arab. Of course, it's going to be like the Black Serpent or something, Suladan, which is the guy that Televen slays in the Battle of the Pelennor Fields.
Yeah.
And then who knows, maybe an old acquaintance of everyone here.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, Suladan feels a little too real. Real for me. It doesn't feel like a Haradrim name. It feels more, Middle Eastern. Arabian.
Yeah.
I actually feel like it's great because it almost looks like this is a name for someone who did great gestures, and in this case, the great gesture is uniting all the people of South Arundor or whatever, and against Gondor. So maybe like that's really cool in a way. And Suladan is actually the non-canon name.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because the Black Serpent sounds very cool and stuff.
Yeah, the Black Serpent is kind of the canon name.
Yeah, it's mentioned in the book, I think. So.
Yeah, he just says, he slayed the Black Serpent, and then he dies. So I have no idea if that was like there is a little bit of a debate over that, if that was a real name or just a metaphor or something else.
It's a great title. It sounds really good as a instead of
indeed.
Instead of king, you are called Black Serpent.
The Black Serpent.
And a little tip on belts, by the way. Belts are always worth taking your time to do detailing on, because I always say this, but belts make or break a unit.
Yeah.
If they don't have belts, you'll always notice, and it always looks slightly wrong. If they do have belts, you won't ever notice the belt, unless it's particularly ornate or anything, but if they don't have them, that's when you'll notice them.
So, Maeron, you're using the concept of John Howe.
Yes. Couldn't not use that. It's incredible.
It is a great concept, like really amazing.
Yeah. Look at that. Beautiful.
That's scary.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Attila doesn't let you do like shadows on the face, so you can't get those black eyes. Unless we give them makeup. We could give them like a custom makeup face to make them look even scarier. I'm just looking through the chat again. Philip saying, but even I have to say Mumakil are cooler than Arnor. Mumakil will be very, very cool once they're added, yeah. And fun to sculpt as well. Okay, so basically I think that's good enough for a base. So I'm just going to select this fellow.
So I'm just going to end the stream.
Thanks for watching.
Sword making stream.
We've done the sword, that's good enough for today. And I don't want to block out my little... Let's just move that over. Oh, we drew on that. Not sure how useful that
People
is.
are saying a good Haradrim name will be Kyle. No, I prefer the name Dwight. The last time we did that, we
Deary
came
me.
up with Asif.
Asif is a good. I like Asif as a name.
Yeah, it's kind of like Maestro liked the name, so he liked the Hasif, but he didn't like the, let's say, the surname, the family
Yeah.
name.
So I was saying, what do you think of these mermaids on the gold adornment? I'm not sure if the star is particularly King's Men, because it reminds me of the Faithful, so that might be wrong. So I might have to change that.
The mermaids are amazing, though.
No, thank you.
Yeah, they look amazing.
Yeah, they look very good.
Oh, thanks. Martin Laurent, sorry. I think for a helmet variation, it would be nice to have a helmet with Gondor-like cheek guards instead of a male coif covering the mouth. Yeah, good idea. Let's do that. And I'm gonna do. I did this disgusting foul sketch here earlier, so we're just gonna basically try and copy that. So as you've seen, I've just copied this exact same base over, and what I'm going to do as a way of getting some, instead of redrawing everything again, I'm just going to edit the bits that change up, which is a massive time saver when you're doing concepts like this. But ideally, nothing, major, like the pauldrons and the armour and the helmet stuff will stay the same, because there's no point doing it the same if you've already got a concept next to it that has that design on it. Marcy saying men with more amazing Nazgul armour. It's a similar style, yeah, that gothic style is really, really cool. I'm going to do a central connection point on this one instead of that, as you can see in that sketch. So in this one we're kind of using this design as inspiration, but we're largely making our own. What do you guys think of this central crest as opposed to connected at the sides?
It looks good. I mean, it works very well, so...
Okay, awesome, thanks. So if we make some kind of connection point, which I'll figure out in a second.
Also, Zarn is saying, I love him, especially with sailors in my family, with those mermaids, but the star could be replaced by an anchor.
The anchor, I believe, is the symbol for Pelargia.
Yeah, I don't want to go there. I don't know. These guys aren't necessarily mariners. They're not sailors.
Yeah, they have an heavy armor as well. So
yeah, that's a terrible recipe. These guys are like noblemen. They're not going to be working on the sea to earn their bread. There's like 2 lower tier Corsair units. They'll probably very much be naval themed, with based off the guys we see in the films, with like grappling ropes and axes and all that kind of gear. How should we go about that connection at the top?
What about Motherkill tusks crossed over each other?
Ooh, I like that. I like that idea for the Mahoods, like you're doing, because they are the guys that they're the guys that tame them. And I'd even go as far as to say actual Mumakil tusks.
I see tusks in my sleep. I've done that many.
Wow. Yeah. Like tusk armor.
Yeah.
For the especially the tier 4 trollmen. They could have some kind of like crude tusk armor. I feel these guys are more noble than that. And I mean, if I had my say, I wouldn't actually connect them to Harad. I'd give them a separate faction, but that's not my say. That would be my dream. Just because they'd be a really fun faction to design.
There's Creeper King saying, "Wait, did he draw the entire thing himself?"
Yeah, completely from scratch, my friend.
First time?
Clearly, yeah.
Reminds me of the meme.
Yeah, first time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember you on stream the other day, Creeper Kings. But I don't think you've been on one of my ones before, no. I'm not convinced on that attachment method, so I'm going to elaborate more with some kind of like maybe something like that. Now I must say that I have not thought through these designs, other than that crude sketch next to me. I've not thought through any of these designs. So it's going to be another situation of making up on the spot, which I detest. Live on camera, after that horrible experience on the Ered Mithrin Veterans all the way back then.
Oh, did you make the whole unit up on stream?
Yeah, mostly. And it was the dragon hell thing on the top. It gave me nightmares. And it didn't even end up being in the unit. But
I was there for that, I was watching.
yeah. Hell, that happens though. That happens.
Grand Tower saying you can always balkanize factions in later versions of the mod. Be disappointed if you didn't. Well, of course, like a lot of the Rings Total War mod has to balkanize at some point in their lives. So, I guess in the future you will see more factions, but not until we have released one or two versions of the campaign.
First release will have, probably most factions, and some, like Eriador isn't that huge of a priority, so you might not even see them in version 1. But version 2, I guess, will have them.
And Creeper Kings, we are not bullying you. We were just laughing because, I don't know, like, we have this kind of stream kind of frequently, and, he's the one drawing along with Eddard in our streams, so, yeah. And when is the campaign going to release?
The age-old question.
It takes time, so...
Indeed, be patient.
Yeah, be patient.
Bit of an... Oh, look at that. Look at that, it's completely off. See, that's the thing, you need to be careful of, like, because... Oh, no. It's frozen again, so I have to do... Save. Keeps doing this randomly, freezing. But there we go. Need to be careful because like angles are hard to get looking right, because this is sort of warping like this, if you see, and that's not good. It's this bit here that we need to get fixed. So if I flip it, you'll see it, you'll notice it more. Look at that. Flipping is a great... Oh, Edred, I never showed you how to set hotkeys. Make your custom hotkey.
Federico, who is one of our most active members in the Discord, is asking, like, he's proposing something in Italian, and he's asked me to translate that because apparently he can translate for himself we're friends, so I'm just joking. And he actually has a point. It does look like some kind of octopus, so he was saying that maybe there can be some kind of symbol resembling an octopus.
That's a really good idea, actually. Like a gold thing on the... Because you've got the mermaids.
Yeah, it's gonna look like a Bond villain, but
I mean, octopus. The most I'll go with an octopus is putting one on the chest. I won't put like a octopus helmet or something crazy.
Okay. Okay.
Just because we want to. Yeah, I'd be hesitant.
Yeah.
That. It would stand out too much from these other ones.
Rat was saying maybe make the gold tip squid, so something similar, and he was also saying about using elephant eye iconography, which of course it's mostly for the Mahout tribes, so that's not going to be used.
I spoke with Maestro the other day, and we came up with something like this for the Umbar faction, the Umbar sub-faction. So this, I think, something similar, similar to this, will be used as to adorn these guys' armor where it's necessary.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, there's a symbol, I think, with Gil-galad's stars in the middle, but of course that would be a very unfitting symbol because they detest the elves.
Yeah, of course.
And Ivan Boris is asking, do most of the devs in the mod have game dev jobs outside? I don't know if you already read that one.
No, I didn't.
Well, that's a good question. I think most of us are students, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, I think isn't Victimized the only one with a game dev job?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I don't know if he's the only one, but he has a game there. Yeah, he has a job there. Sorry. Yeah. There was a little lapsus. George Nats is asking, are you redoing the faction icons? The one that you saw is the sub-faction icon. Actually.
Yes, yeah, indeed. Now, this won't be used for Harad, don't worry. Because, of course, the famous one is the snake, so of course we'll keep that. No. This is not for, a banner or anything. This is just for these Umbar units to, give them something that makes them stand out. Because it wouldn't make sense if these guys were wearing red snakes, just because they're a different sub-faction. And you'll only be able to train these units in the campaign once you've, captured and subjugated them. Same with the Mahouds.
Mitty, can you stop spamming the same thing?
Right, yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, it's the third time.
God, yeah, we might. Energy's here this time, so we're not going to have another situation like we had the other day on Mega Blue Iron stream with a serious dwarf hater entering the chat, and then Frosty swooping to the rescue and putting.
It's funny because his hatred wasn't even justified.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know. Like, it was hatred. It was true hatred.
Yeah.
But it was hugely entertaining.
I'm so sorry I wasn't there. Would have been really funny.
Joe Schnat saying the Mordor icon could use an update. Yeah, it has actually got that. It's got that problem with the red. Just doesn't it blends in with the black, and you can't really see the difference between them. That is a problem. That's a good point. still got a slight wonky feel to it, which is annoying.
I need a new skeleton. I just sometimes legs and arms and humans are a nightmare to just get right.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it just takes a long time to sort of just crack it. Really, getting something, because my guys tend to look quite stiff and rigid, like they're tensing every muscle in their body. And it's it's hard to get the proportions right and the fluidity and the life in the face and they're a nightmare, man.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do, I think, is to draw real people, like life drawing. And because with Photoshop and stuff, modern technology, you can just trace over photos. And I did that, and I found it was quite a good way of learning.
It is.
Or at least bringing them next to you and having them directly next to you. Especially with concept art, where you shouldn't have to be worrying about getting the proportions right. Instead, you should be focusing on a design, and
yeah, indeed.
which I have to say is something I don't do enough. I need to.
But the thing is, if the character fits well in the armor, if it looks like he wears it every day, it helps. The
Yeah,
design.
of course, yeah.
So, but I think it's quite interesting because it seems you skip to the painting part, like you skipped a bit of all the anatomy stuff and you just went straight up to painting, and it still looks amazingly good. Because
Well, look, let's take a moment to admire this one.
Because-
Who is having some issues right now. He has not had a good day. I mean, so that was me being really, really careless. But yeah, no, I think we just have differing styles. As in, I mean, I just do a really, really quite rough skeleton.
yeah.
And usually I actually have to end up doing some proportional adjustment in the painting stage. Like I paint it and realise, his legs are too short. Right, let's just move his legs down.
But that's why I think it's like way better to get the skeleton right directly, So just focus on the line art, and then because it seems to me you are perfectly aware what you're doing with your painting. So
I do agree. It's just it's a habit, because I mean, of course, I'm used to like real life painting, where of course you can't. You do line art. You have to just cover it all in a thick layer of paint, and then you. Then you go in with the paint, and then you have to sort of imagine where those lines were.
Well, Meaty saying, well, they're stiff because they're in a full set of armor, It's heavy and they're heaving it around on their backs for hours, but we got messages. Well, yeah, but see,
these guys
then
are
again,
trained. Yeah, these guys are trained knights.
Yeah, then again, they are trained, so they are strong, and their body is built to support that armor. And even if this armor is heavy and they look stiff, humans always have ways to chill while standing. They will stand like on one leg mostly. It's got in German it's contrapposto, so I don't remember the word in English.
Oh, like lean on one leg.
Yeah,
As
exactly.
opposed to, yeah.
Humans do that a lot when they're tired. For example, a knight in full armor after a whole day, he will not stand on both of his legs all straight.
If you're this trained, you would be very used to it.
Yeah, indeed.
Joe saying, will these be a faction that is unplayable but present as its own? At the start, I think yes, it will be unplayable, but then once you subjugate them, you can train them. You can basically play as them, but you can't play only as Umbar. No. But if you capture them as Harad, then you can train their units. Yeah. Pascal, hello. Can't believe Arnor is coming out soon. Again, that's a very much a modding terms soon, which could be anywhere from 2 to 6 months to, and I wouldn't actually even say soon. I would say not soon. I'd say middle future, medium kind of. I'd say 6 months to a year, more like, with Arnor. Just because Aldo is takes a long time, a lot of care. And I think he's quite busy with university and stuff. Meaty, it's not. Oh yeah, this is not Arnor. No, this is Harad, as you can probably not make out here with the inverted writing. There you go. Adunakhori for Harad. What's Zan saying? Perhaps make the gold support thing on his helmet piece just smaller, like a small circle. Then you try to copy basically what you did on the front to both sides. I could do that actually. Although I quite like this design here. I mean,
hello, Gert.
Oh, it's Gert.
Yeah, he's saying that Numenor is dead as an island.
Unfortunately, no.
That is
Unfortunately,
true.
these are not dwarves. And even more unfortunately for you, not Khazad-dûm.
Man, you got a twisted knife in his wound.
Oh, sorry, say that again.
You really got a twisted knife in his wound.
Well, no, he's getting through to submod. Which
Mhm.
will they have? They might not have Khazad-dûm, will they? Or will they include
I think
Khazad-dûm?
they do.
Oh, there you go. There you go, Git. Models by the legend himself. So, to be honest, I'm quite excited for that submod. It'll be I think it'll be especially fun for like custom battles. I don't know how it's going to work in a campaign, but custom battles, it's going to be great.
1122 is saying, but why Arad? They should be with Angmar, Umbar, and Dol Guldur. Why Dol Guldur?
Well, I mean, two of those factions you've mentioned, unfortunately, are not existing in our game.
Yeah.
The reason they are with Harad is because there is no Umbar faction. And yeah, do note that these guys are not evil. Guys are not. I did put Black Numenoreans in the title because it's more clickbaity, but it's more catchy. But these guys are neutral Numenoreans, but that sounds really lame.
Yeah. History is written by the victors, you know. So of course, like maybe Gondor called them that way.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like having a title like Neutral Numenorean Concept Art.
Yeah. Okay, so what's this called?
Well, they were from Numenor. They were like originally these families who have these great knights were from Numenor, but then
these were
Umbar.
the king's men. These were the Ardunaim, as Divide and Conquer puts them. So we're gonna
which is the Adunaic, which is the language, I think, term for kingsmen.
Mm. These are called, I think, Adunakhori is again Numenorean language for Lords of the West, I think.
Yes.
Dun, meaning as in like Dunedain.
So their nemesis are the Lords of Westerness.
Yeah. I'd say they're basically, in fact, they're actually basically an exact copy of the Lords of the Westerness. Yeah, because their weapon as well is so similar.
But it's shorter, right, for the Lords of Westerness because they have a shield, I think.
Oh yeah, they do have a shield. Yeah, these guys are Shock and Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Westerness are. I think they're just sword infantry. Davy Jones as a unit captain. Interesting concept. Forgive us if we don't do that, though.
Holly is going to be disappointed.
Yeah. Our list of fan request custom generals grows ever weirder, it would seem.
Yeah.
What was I going to do? I was going to give them like all black here, but actually I don't think that's going to work. Because these guys look really elite with all that silver and gold and stuff, and if they just have a surcoat over that, it'll just look a bit lame. So perhaps let's keep the chest plate and then let's just give them maybe a black robe down here. Basically on all these variations I'm going to try to vary up helmet, chest, arms and legs. You know, feet could probably stay the same, gloves, greaves, gauntlets and stuff can stay the same. But yeah, just the important things that you'll see. I think I can change up maybe cloaks as well. But of course for a elite unit, like uniformity is actually quite important. But then since these guys are like really wealthy people who lived in quite a it's not a uniform society, I imagine. So they basically, if you're rich, you get to buy the best equipment, and the best equipment will vary slightly. So that's why they are an elite unit, but they still have some variation.
Was my mic too high?
Oh, it's a little quiet now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't hear you very well.
Yeah, someone said it was too high, so...
Oh no, I think it was fine though.
That's a...
Should be better now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's good.
Okay.
Gosh, again, neglecting the chat. Yeah, Meaty perhaps needs a bit of education. This will not be a levy unit, no. These guys would probably die of shame if they were told they were a levy unit. They are lords, my friend. They are elite. They'll be, a powerhouse for Harad. But of course, limited in number due to them being, area specific. So are you talking about my microphone being too loud? I don't think Elegies was too loud. Oh well.
Oh, maybe it was like on the stream. Now it's better, I think. Of course, you have to be the priority speaker.
Oh no, they're saying it's fixed. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Ooh. And of course, for those of you who don't quite understand what's going on, I'm using a lot of the keyboard shortcuts, which Matt Edgewood I'd completely recommend for Photoshop. It's like so much quicker. I recently found out how to adjust the brush size without.
Isn't it Control Alt or something like that?
It's Alt right click.
Oh yeah.
And I've got a button on my pen that allows me to emulate right click, which is super useful as well. It takes a while to learn, fully learn how to navigate comfortably around Photoshop.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm still learning loads of new things. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to ask too. Where do you get your brushes?
Well, this brush shape, I just made it.
Oh, you just made it.
It's like that's your default. I saw it on a YouTube video that like this pro artist used this shape brush. I don't know why. I think it's like it means you could do sort of thin strokes and then fatter strokes like that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I kind of like it though. I've sort of grown to like this shape. Although I did recently discover a really cool. If you do, why are you doing that? Mix a brush tool. This is like it makes things look like a painting. If I make that bigger.
That's how I used to blend colours together.
I was playing around with it. That looks so like it's stylistic, but that looks like armor. Just that little pass over it makes it look like armor, like really shiny armor, which is really really cool. I'll play around with that when I've when I got something that I don't want to screw up on, but.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there still seems to be some kind of confusion in the chat about who these guys are. I'll say one last time that these I've got it written up here for you. For anyone who doesn't know, do have a look down below in the description where you'll find our Trello page, and if you have a look there, then you can find out all the roster information that you may or may not know, and educate yourselves. Again, asking where did the whites Numenoreans go? I think they're just called the Faithful, aren't they? The Faithful were Isildur and Elendil and stuff.
Yeah.
They formed Gondor and Arnor, and you know what happened to them at the War of the Ring, War of the Last Alliance. And actually, I'm just going to put down that third variant already. Because I want to do that leopard skin cloak. Oh, whoops. There we go. Now, granted, this must be getting a bit confusing now. There's 3 of the same guys here. But I want to do this leopard skin thing, so.
Matteo is asking, sorry if someone's already asked, but were there actually Numenoreans in Umbar in the Third Age? You can see that Umbar is actually like some kind of hub for many people, and one of them was like the hair of these guys were the Haradrim, which were the Kingsmen. So these are actually people who were faithful to Parazon, whatever you pronounce that, and that escaped from the disaster of, or were actually still there. Like they were there when the disaster in Numenor happened, and of course Umbar was a colony of Numenor. So they stayed there. They actually had a war against Gondor, which was called like some kind of kin strife, some kind of civil war between Numenorean people.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, they're still there. Like you can actually understand that these are elite units. They are nobles. So of course, like if you have these very big noble families that have their own masters and lords and everything. And these are the people who represent that. This unit is representing exactly that.
Yeah, no, indeed. But I mean, our thinking is that they are dwindling in number, so that hence why the only
Yeah, of course.
the only Numenorean, truly Numenorean unit in the roster out of the 4 Umbar units is these guys, and the rest are just common, Haradrim mixed with Gondorians, the Corsairs that you see in the film, basically. But yes, as Donovan's saying, I wouldn't say they're full-blood Numenoreans.
Yes, I
just
agree.
Just like the Fountain Guard and Lords of Westerness, they are merely descendants. As we can see with Aragorn, even being a descendant is pretty epic.
I think also one of the many conflicts that there were between Denethor and Faramir is that Faramir actually inherited more Numenorean blood than Boromir, or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Ah,
I
explains
think
that.
I read something like that. So in the end, if they were both to live peaceful and happy lives, actually Boromir will die first.
Mm. No, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not sure about this, but I read it somewhere.
Maeron, how about having some leopard skin going in the front, on the front too,
Yeah, that's
like
true. I could
on
potentially
his
do that.
chest,
On this guy, maybe.
on his chest, yeah, like the skin of a leg on his chest,
Oh,
for
on
example,
this guy, you mean?
with
Like
with
coming
the
all the way
paw.
down. Yeah, let's do that.
God, that cape is insane.
This guy must be very rich, yeah. Oh, what I'll do actually, I'll sort of make it like this. This is a sleeve, like so. That sort of comes. That's still attached, and there's a gap there,
Oh,
and it's for his arm to go through. And the cloak actually comes all the way. Ah, yes, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, you really multiply this charisma by 10 by by adding that leopard skin.
He's
So a
one of the.
leopard skin.
Oh, sorry. Say that again.
What is it? Like, what are you making as like
Leopard.
golden cloak or something? Oh,
No, yeah, it's the animal skin that you see here.
right.
By the way, yeah, Matt, if you haven't got this, by the way, pure,
I was literally about to ask, yeah.
it's a really cool like reference thing that you can dump a load of images into, and then you can have it set to always be on top of your window,
Yeah.
and then you just like navigate around. It saves you having to put all your reference into the actual file. And then
Yeah, I
you
do
can move
that.
it around.
It does constrict space
Yeah, I know. I used to do it as
a
well.
lot.
It's so useful because when you don't want it, you can just make it small and you just zoom it out, and then when you want to
Yeah.
go right in, then you've got it right there. Faramir lives to like 114. Yeah. Especially in those times. Aragorn, how old does Aragorn live?
215?
Oh wow.
Somewhere
I
around
don't rem- over 200, I
Oh
think.
wow.
I'll go
I
check.
have no idea.
a while.
Yeah.
a while. He didn't have time to make his tax policy though.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Oh, Aragorn lived until 210.
Wow.
That was close.
Yeah, indeed. Wow.
So it was like 120 years of reign, I guess.
Yeah. 122. Very close, Elijah.
Because he was like, I think he was saying he was 90 during the War of the Ring. So yeah, makes sense.
87.
Ah, 87. There you go.
And just remember that because it was like in this kind of kids' journal of the Lord of the Rings. So it was like, wow, 87, and I couldn't understand why, of course, because I hadn't
Yeah.
read
Yeah,
the
indeed.
books.
When I was a kid, I used to think that real life elephants were the size of a mummikill.
Oh, that'd be terrifying.
I know, imagine. And then I grew up and realised, wow, what was wrong with me?
I mean, I don't know. When you're a kid, they are huge anyway.
Yeah.
Elephants are big and scary, but that'd just be.
Bit too big.
You'd remember the first time you saw one of them. You would have absolutely wet yourself.
Yeah. Well, I went to a zoo and they were indoors, and I don't think a mummikill would fit indoors.
Yeah. Those tusks are nasty.
Yeah.
Georgia Kingdom.
Yes.
I'll explain where they came from. These are the king's men, Numenoreans who were loyal to the last king of Numenor. He decided to make war on the Valar after Sauron corrupted the Numenoreans. Thank you for the explanation. That will hopefully clear things up for people who are not sure who these guys are. Sorry if I cut you guys off there, by the way, if you were going to say anything when I read that out.
I need to brush up on my law. I read The Hobbit when I was a kid. I watched the movies before I can remember, and read The Lord of the Rings. Then I went and read The Silmarillion. Yeah, I'm still recovering. I read The Children of Húrin as well, and Beren and Luthien. They're pretty my favourite books, but I have no idea what happens. I don't understand.
Wow, that is some commitment. I've got them all on my shelf, but I haven't touched the Siege of Gondolin and Beren and Luthien.
Yeah, Gondolin I still need to read. I'm just preparing.
And then the other one is the Sons of Húrin. No, not.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I have that one.
Children of Húrin. Yeah, that's
Children. Yeah.
A very sad book.
that's dark.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is very sad. It is a
Very
depressing
dark.
story.
I didn't know they could go that far.
It's very hardcore. It's very.
It's like
Yeah.
the same universe as Hobbits and parties. It's just yeah. What?
Yeah, people say like George R.R. Martin is better because his stories aren't good versus evil and all of that. They should read the Children of Húrin.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea who the Children of Húrin are. I'm shameful to admit.
It's basically about Turin Turambar and his sisters.
Oh yeah.
Don't spoil it for Maeron.
I will
know,
not.
all I know is he had the dragon helm.
Yeah.
But that is it.
Oh, his story is very dark too.
Yeah.
This is the guy who has like no luck at all.
Makes
Yeah.
Game of Thrones like a kid's story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Ready Wedding is much better than that story.
I didn't know what I was getting myself in for. I thought it'd just be another poetic story like the
Yeah.
rest of them. No, I was shocked and
You were in for a surprise.
slightly distraught. Yeah.
Maeron, as Ulter also points out a bit earlier, the leopard skin looks a bit thick on the shoulders.
That's true.
You can notice it's actually quite thin.
It's thin, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the reason is because it's sort of coming up too much like this.
Yeah.
Answer that look.
Yeah, this is already better. Better.
Yeah, I agree there, yeah. Sort of lessen it a little bit there as well. Again, thanks, Alta. I think we need a little bit of variation in these little dots. Zoom into the leg. Okay, they're more solid on the leg. Although of course this... Oh, go on.
No, you're going.
I was going to say, this doesn't necessarily have to be a real leopard. It could be a... You know, I mean, we're in a land with humongous elephants, so it could be a fictional beast. But go on.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, Aiden Furad saying Turin carries trouble to anywhere he goes, and Matteo saying poor Turin, he's a badass though. So you get an idea of the character, Maeron.
Yeah. Indeed. It was my goal to read all the books before I went to uni, but alas, I don't think I'm going to manage.
It's a degree on its own.
Yeah, that's very true. There's more of a sort of fur edge to them there.
Yeah, you can see like the leopard skin is longer on some parts and very short. Well, the pelt is very short on some parts and longer on the belly or articulations, for example.
Oh, you mean the rings? You mean, or
No, like the pelt, like
yeah,
the
yeah,
head.
indeed. I guess I was sort of try and like translate that shape over. I think that would come down more in that case, since the arms are really quite short actually. If I bring this down a little bit more.
Taiki ZA saying this stream is becoming like a group of friends playing games now.
I really like the chatting kind of thing, because it's no longer. I mean, it's just so much more relaxed, and it means that the person actually working can like spend even more time working and not get distracted by the chat. Will we see necromancer units? I don't know. I doubt it, because that's more of like a magic unit, right? Which
I mean that's
more
the
Warhammer.
feel it gives.
I'm still campaigning for a Nazgul unit. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be very cool. Like the 9 slaying through the foes.
You mean like a different armor for each Nazgul?
Indeed.
Oh, I think they look more like iconic if they just had their hoods.
Oh yeah,
I
but like
agree.
hand armor, you mean, right?
Oh yeah, just the hoods we see in the Hobbit with their armor that they have underneath.
Yeah, they have like super cool.
It's similar to. It's quite gothic. Yeah. It's really, really cool.
And their sabatons are also very good looking. When he comes down off the horse to check on the hobbits.
Yeah. That's.
And it sneaks around.
Sabaton's are foot armor for anyone who doesn't know. It's probably one of the most like functional armors in the whole film, just because of how like real it is.
Which one? The
Nazgul armor.
Yeah.
I never really agreed with the game, but I did like the helmets in Shadow of War for the Nazgul.
Yeah, that's
They were
true.
Nice.
No, I can't. I have to agree with you there. I don't know. I'm undecided on the legitimacy of it all.
My friend isn't as big as a fan as I am, and any time Shadow of War kind of comes up, I just go on that hour just moaning and raging. And I just can feel him rolling his eyes. He has no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, with my friends that actually enjoy Shadow War, whenever I go on the rant.
Yeah.
It's when they say it's lore accurate, and that's when I go on a rant.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isildur and Helm Hammerhand being a Nazgul.
Oh.
1122 is saying, but we need an undead faction in Middle Earth. We have the Phantoms for Dol Guldur, which are actually like reanimated corpses, which are kind of canon. So you know that they have those kind of people in their armies. And then we have the Barrow-wites.
Oh yeah,
actually from the books. Yeah.
Gundabad faction.
Yeah, Gundabad. Yeah, of course. And Federico is saying, do you expect the whole faction for the next update, Umbar and Mahood included? Well, it's not the whole faction because we don't have the monarch yet. But yeah.
I don't know, it depends how much Frosty does, really, I guess.
Yeah, but we can wait for that, you know.
No, indeed.
We have no set date for the releases, so...
Yeah, except the one you said earlier.
Yeah.
But no, indeed.
I mean, the 0.2.5 came out in December, like after Christmas. And then 0.4.0 came out 13th or 14th of March. So, you know, it's, you know, some kind of time like that. It's, you know, you're gonna need to expect some timing like that, you know, so like 2 to 3 months between each update or something more. Of course,
I like that kind of time length. It gives it, there's like hype, and then people get used to it, and then there's more hype straight after.
Yeah, of course, like you just need to wait because, of course, like we don't have set dates, and the devs can work on whatever they wish. So in the end, like Rusty wants to go off doing, I don't know, the Wing Riders, he can. So you know, when we have everything, you know, when we know what units are done and what units are missing, then we decide what and when to release. Say the date again for the next update. I didn't say any date. I just said that it was like, you know, 1 to 2 to 3 months away. So it's not an actual date.
Yeah, no, indeed. But you can get a fairly good picture of what's going to be the next update. Now we've, you know, now if you look at the previews on the Discord, and of course, you know, now we're streaming everything.
Yeah, and then use the Trello.
And of course, I keep forgetting to plug the Discord. For anyone who's new here, our main place is Discord, so the link's in the description and pinned in the chat as well. If you'd like to, you know, find out more about the project, see the previews, and join the community, that'd be lovely. I will usually do that at the beginning, but. There we go, he's looking very wealthy. It does look kind of weird doing this style of concept where you have the same figure. It looks like they're... It has. I think there's benefits and negatives to both. Like two styles of doing like 3 different figures and 3 identical figures. 3 identical figures, of course, being it's so much quicker as you've seen here. But the different figures just looks better, I think.
Well, it adds to the uniqueness, right?
Yeah, no, indeed.
If you do the same figure, well, of course, it's like those guys are the mainline infantry, you know.
Yeah.
It's like Switzerland army, very rich.
Yeah. Or like, was it Burgundy?
Yeah.
Radoslav is asking us to just make elephants bigger, and we actually make a pride of our quality, so we're not gonna do that. I guess someone can make a sub mod, but I don't know if it's gonna work because, of course, there are animations, and animations are going to be out of place if you have just a resized elephant.
Are you able to scale animations? You must be, to be... Because we could make smaller and bigger figures.
Yeah, but then it's not going to be fitting with the soldier, So the soldier is going to eat maybe an empty void or something like that.
Yeah, indeed, that's true.
Gert is asking you to make a summary about the content for the next update, Maeron.
A summary about the content of the next update? Oh, well, you've picked up. I mean, surely you've picked up what's been happening on the streams. You've got, Frusty working away on Harad, and you've got, you've seen the Galadrim elves. Although they may not make it, because of course we want to, we want to flesh out that a little bit more before we release a new faction like that. And of course you've got Mega Blue Iron's Mordor rework. I'd say those are the 3 big things to expect.
Alter work on.
Oh yeah, Alter's Candish work and also some more Woodland Realm units.
Yeah, and some more rework.
Yeah, no, indeed. So there you go. Hope that helps. And I, very unprofessionally, I'm going to need to run to the toilet. So if you could man the fort until I come back, I'll be grateful. Right, I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Alright.
You can keep asking questions, guys, in the meantime, if you want. Andrew is saying the next update needs to come out. Well, it's been like literally 1 month and a week since the last update, and that isn't much if you remember how much it takes for Rise of Mordor to release an update. Between each updates there were like 4, 5, 6 months. So 2 to 3 months isn't very much.
Well, lads, it's been an hour. I'm going to have to go now. It was nice. Nice being here.
It was.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, Edward.
Oh, sorry about that.
Edridge is
No
up here.
worries. Gert is asking why actually Rise of Mordor and not Third Age. I don't know what the question is. You're talking about the name of or the mod to play with. Third Age it's not a dead project because of course there are sub mods like Divide and Conquer and Third Age Reforged, but they stopped working on it, like the official team. And of course, Medieval 2 is an older game, so I don't know about you, but we all wish in the team to play some Lord of the Rings games in a newer engine.
Indeed. I mean, if you're talking about the name, Third Age is already taken, my friend. So
Yeah. Respect the colleagues
yeah, no, indeed.
and the great work they've done in the past.
Victimized was on the team, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think he told me something like that. You're a veteran of many mods, actually.
Me, I'm only the veteran of one mod. With Edred, where I last alliance.
Okay.
Which was how was it? It was only about 2 years ago actually I joined that. It feels like a very long time.
Many concepts ago.
Oh yeah, indeed. Before I was doing digital hand-drawn concepts.
And Cairo is asking, I've read somewhere that Black Numenoreans are of an unknown race. Tolkien states they mingle with Haradrim. So are the characters in Umbar going to be of darker skin tone? Out of curiosity. And yeah, kind of like more Mediterranean. What was the idea? I think I saw in Frosty's screenshots that they were more Mediterranean. North African like.
And the Mahud units from Farharad, like the Trollmen, they'll be quite dark skinned, I think.
Yeah. $11.22, are you from the last day's team? No, we aren't.
No, indeed. A lot of us are from just Rise of Mordor.
Yeah.
There hasn't been, oh, why is that? Oh, okay, there we go. Bit of frozen, bit of a freeze there. Always gets stressful. Let's give them some gold ornamentation on this cloak. Straight lines are really quite difficult. But Matt, as you were saying earlier, the best way I find to do straight lines is to do these little strokes like this.
Yeah.
And sort of slowly build up. And it takes a while to get used to, drawing because that's not entirely straight. But it takes a while to get used to it. Once you're experienced with it.
Yeah, because you can really tell when you've just used the line tool, because it looks straight but like kind of
like too
artificial.
Perfectly straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so it's actually quite a good exercise just to draw straight lines, I guess.
Yeah.
But pretty boring. So, and that's sloping out a little bit too much. So we want it. Throwing that right in. There we go. And I might add a little pattern on there. What's reminiscent of? Okay, so we could do something like this. Patterns always add a lot, but they are very time consuming to do. So I might just do one side of this on camera and the other side off camera, which I tend to like doing with these streams. What I found is that these streams, like in terms of view-wise, these streams are often like the first of any series I do is usually the most popular. So I think what I'm going to do future, what I'm doing now is I'm sort of jumping around between, I've got like 5+ concepts on the go right now, so I'll jump around between them. So next week I guess I'll do my Galadrim elves again, the Wardens of the Fences, and maybe after that I can jump back to the Aotheode, because I think that keeps things more interesting.
Yeah.
Like in terms of subscriptions, it's the same. Like every stream like brings a good amount of subs to the channel.
That's true.
Even if it is like the second or the third video about the concept.
That's true. Wow, we've grown. Like last time I checked, we were on 7.5k. Crazy.
Yeah.
We're literally we're storming ahead to that 10k in no time at all. It's incredible. Your support has been fantastic, folks.
Yes, indeed.
Truly.
We already started thinking about what to do for the 10k special.
Indeed. I thought we were doing cooking with allergy.
No, we are. It will expose that I don't know anything about cooking.
Yeah, indeed.
I just live on my own, so of course I have to learn to do some stuff.
I think that's a nice pattern. They're maybe a little basic, but we can vary again. Like the good thing about doing these variations is we can.
It really looks great. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Very noble-like.
And again, I'm sticking to that similarity between Gondor, even in sort of their cloaks and things, just because I don't want them looking exactly the same, of course, but having that subconscious similarity is really good, I think, for these guys. So
Yeah,
you can relate. Elegy
Mark
cooking
Pan.
some taters
Yeah.
with Sam. Yeah.
Martin is asking again to use the Gondor-like cheek guard helmet variation as a variation.
Oh, indeed. Let's do that now. Actually, let me just finish this pattern on the thing on the cloak, and let's do that for our third helmet. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me. There's a dog barking really annoyingly in the background.
We can't hear it.
Okay,
Don't
good,
worry.
good. And yeah, don't worry, this centre guy as well, he'll look significantly more different from this guy. Because as I was saying earlier, like, I want to make the most of this variation, so I'll give him a whole new set of armour there. And vary up this face guard here. And let's pull that pattern all the way around the cloak. There we go. And yes, now Martin, let's do the face guard. Nice Ferguson saying a sad face, no allergy, cooking taters. Alas. Right, let's think how we're going to do this.
Maybe for 50k.
For 50k.
I'll
There
just
you go.
delete it.
If you want to see allergy cooking taters with Sam, subscribe. 50k confirmed. Although of course it's not a democracy. So if he doesn't want to do it. $11.22. Seriously, they can use Melkor symbols as Silmarils, for example. These guys have no connection to Melkor though, or the Silmarils.
They were in the cult of Melkor though, like.
Yeah,
when you were with the...
like on in Numenor maybe, but these guys, you know, hate Melkor and Sauron for destroying their homeland, for destroying Numenor, bringing about its downfall. So they, like we were saying earlier, they are neutral Numenoreans from the grand scheme of things. And I'm still pondering over these face guards. How can we do them looking? I don't think I'll give them Gondor style face guard, just because that might look a little off. Oh, I guess we can play around with variations. So I'm going to give them a Rohan style face guard for now, and then the other one, maybe this centre gun one, we could try full Gondor style helmet there.
Makes sense.
Although this is really quite similar to Arnor, so they have those cheek bits that come down. Martin, sorry. Umbar being a port city, some of the boats engravings could be fitting for these bad boys. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yes, that's a great idea. I do like that kind of maritime feel with the mermaids but also mix with a very much a nobleman aesthetic. The Corsair units, the 3 Corsair / Gondorian mixed race people, will be very much a maritime themed aesthetic. Does that make sense with having the male there? I don't think it makes sense to bring the male all the way up in that case, so I'm gonna stop the male like at the coif like that.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Although, do I give them a cloth face mask? Because these guys are both very COVID compliant, but this guy. What do you guys think, chat, and of course people in the call?
One thing that I would say is that these people live in places that are very hot. So maybe the mask is a bit too much.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you know, they already have a lot of things on.
Poor guys, yeah. Oh, he's got a leopard skin on.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be baking hot.
Yeah, it might be worth to have one anti-masker.
Yeah. Got to represent everyone.
Yeah.
And another useful thing, you can see these shadows on the face are quite red. I'm using quite a dark red for these shadows instead of like a... And that's a good tip, because shadows on the face, you can see the blood, which makes them red as opposed to black. Otherwise they end up looking quite flat, I guess, and grey and dull, which is something, again, I learned quite recently. How should we go about that? We sort of connect that bit up like that, and it sort of comes down. Tad confusing. And give him a gold rim like the Arnor helmet. if you think about it, Arnor, like these guys were, because Gondor and Arnor sort of both, Gondor and Umbar both sort of trace back to Arnor and Numenor. So if they had that same Arnorian aesthetic on Numenor, it would be like two different chains of development that start the same and they sort of find their own path.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting to think like these guys were originally Arnor and how have they developed and how have they changed in the different ways of Gondor.
It looked really cool to see them both on the battlefield.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for them, man. Can't wait for it.
You mean Numenor? Like Numenor is the first where they come from, and then you go.
Yes,
like, yeah. Arnor and Gondor. So yeah, it makes sense. You know, they will have some kind of common ancestor of their helmet in Numenor, and then it divides up.
Yeah, much better way of putting it.
I wonder what the designs will look like in the new TV show.
Ooh.
Would they be kind of a precursor to the Lord of the Rings movies and their armor, or would it be something entirely different?
I don't
It's
know.
like
I'm interested.
Shadow of War was like they had Gondor-ish armor, and it kind of resembled, but also didn't in a way.
Yeah. Oh, I'm interested to see what they do with that, really, because I mean, do we know if they're even sticking to the Peter Jackson aesthetic, or are they making their own one?
Well, Weta is working there.
Oh, okay.
I hope it is.
I think it'd be nice to keep them the same.
Because then it'll make it all coherent and give us a Lord of the Rings cinematic universe, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Dodgy Kingdom has a point. Maybe add a chain connecting the leopard skin so it doesn't fall off in battle.
That would be a good point. Although it's kind of connected to his cloak. But yes, let's do that. I'm frozen again. When it does that, if you see there, it means it's frozen, so I have to exit. And luckily it lets me save when I exit. But the nose guard, take the nose guard lower nose guard, sure. I guess, to compensate for the lack of protection on the face now, if we bring that nose guard down, like a Norman nose guard. How's that look?
That's good.
Campbell's saying they haven't brought Weta on board, to my knowledge. Oh.
They should do that.
They definitely should, yeah.
I'm worried
It's a
if they
bit too
don't do
late
that.
now.
Oh. I'm very skeptical of this show,
check.
but
I'm hoping they don't go like... Because that's the thing, the Lord of the Rings aesthetic is... It's incredibly hard to describe, actually. It's not like Warhammer aesthetic, and the Hobbit movies kind of edged their way to the kind of Warhammer over like how do you say it? That completely over the top fantasy style.
yeah.
Whereas Lord of the Rings, it's fairly simple. The designs aren't overly complex.
Yeah.
You know, it's all practical. The costumes all had to be made in real life, so you know they had to be worn in real life, so they had to all function.
That's one of my gripes of The Hobbit. I just much prefer practical effects.
Oh, the battle would have been so much better.
If it was, it would have been a contender with Helm's Deep and Minas Tirith.
Oh, yeah. No, indeed. I think the battle, the fighting in the city of Dale.
Yeah.
When the elves come into the city, I think that's the only time they had real elven soldiers.
Yeah.
And you can actually tell. You can really tell. And like when Bard and stuff are fighting in the streets, that's all real.
The special effects look really good, but it gets to a point where it's so detailed you can see things that you probably wouldn't be able to see if you were there, which makes it look fake.
I'm interested because the 4K remaster, I imagine that would just like make the problem worse in maybe.
Yeah, it does.
Like boost the detail even more, and that just again fuels that kind of unrealism.
Yeah, I've watched the Lord of the Rings in 4K. Like I watched the Return of the King, and you can see a lot more of the details in the background, which is kind of worse because, of course, like when you see it, it's like, wow, this is perfect. There isn't any issue with anything. And in the 4K, you actually notice a lot more of the, the CGI being old after all.
Okay. I wouldn't have minded if they actually did go in and reanimated some stuff. I wouldn't have complained if they like went and redid Mumakil and.
Yeah, but Mumakil look really good actually.
Yeah, they do. I mean, like, I've just like looking at pictures and stuff. You do kind of see them if you look really closely.
There are some horrific moments though in the Lord of the Rings. If you like in the Fellowship of the Ring, Boromir's heroic scene, there's a shot, if you pause it just right, you can see Pippin's face, and I don't know what it is, but it ain't Pippin. It is just strange.
I guess it must have been the small scale stunt double or the like scale double.
Stunt double. Yeah.
It must be.
There's a really blatant one actually of when the heroes are riding out from Helm's Deep after the victory at the end of the Two Towers. They all come over the hill, and Éomer, he's in the middle of the shot. He's at the side of the shot. He's a main character. It's just so blatantly obvious that it's the stunt rider.
Yeah.
So yeah, and of course, like the biggest thing was like Legolas's eyes. Them forgetting to put in the contact lenses.
Oh yeah.
Half the time.
Yeah. Also, like in the end, like in the final shot before Aragorn charges at the Black Gate, and you could see that weird face on Gimli. And I don't know if it's the stunt double of John Rhys Davies or if it's actually him, but it's really weird. And the first time you see it, like it's forever in your head. It's done.
Yeah.
Anytime Gandalf rides on a horse as well. I noticed that in the 4K when he's riding up through Minas Tirith in the third movie, you can kind of look at his face and realise that's not Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
And that's when Éomer loses the sword in the Two Towers.
Yeah.
When he has his sword hanging out.
Yeah, and it falls down right in the middle of the shot.
That's crazy that made it in.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how could they not see it?
Although I never ever noticed it until it was pointed out.
Yeah, that is true.
So I guess when they're watching it, you just don't look at that. It's like when I zoom out here, I think practically nobody was looking at that foot or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is how the sword was. So yeah.
I mean, with a trilogy that legendary, you really have to nitpick at it. All the little tiny bits.
No, yeah, agreed.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to drop you. I'm going to eat something. So
Alright,
we'll
man.
catch up.
Thanks, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
Take care.
See ya.
Yeah,
guys.
bye.
I'm actually going to finish the stream fairly soon as well, actually, because I need to go to dinner.
Yeah.
So So yeah, that's how we started. Oh, we started about an hour and 40 minutes ago. So I'll go to 8:40. Oh, which only applies to English time, of course. I'll go to European time 9:40 p.m. There we go. I think it's. I read that Numenoreans are beardless, so I'll give him no beard. Nice, clean shaven.
I don't know anything about him.
So yeah, we've done that. Let's jump to another variation, just for the sake of keeping things interesting. Let's try something on this breastplate.
Then we have now a leopard skin.
Oh, Frosty, hello.
Yeah, hello.
Oh,
Hi, yeah. What do you think, Frosty? So far, these guys.
Maybe a little shape of this open helmet. It could be
This one.
edited, I think.
Do you think it looks a little bit long, actually? Shall I bring the cheek guards up a bit to finish sort of there? That might look nicer.
Maybe you could give him just leave just top neck protection in this middle variant, yeah. And maybe he could not left, the middle one. So on the right.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it could be chainmail in place of frontal lower plate.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
It was done. It was someone suggested it in the chat. Putting like sheet plates. I think the helmet looks a little long. We could try that on this guy. Just bringing that face in. I might try shortening these cheek plates just a little bit. Because that might end up looking better. What do you think?
that looks really cool.
I quite like that. It kind of like the circular shape works with the coif as well. I'll keep that, Frosty. I'll keep that one as it is for, on this one, and I'll do the open face like you say on this guy here. So basically, if I copy that and paste it like so. Whoops. And then if we edit it to remove the cheek cards completely, and then we just have the coif. And then the skin. Frosty, was that what you meant?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
And maybe he could have in this variant the black material mask on lower face, like like fountain guard.
Yeah. Nice one. Good idea. Good idea. Oh right, look. Lots of things. Joe Snat's saying Frosty should start modelling now and see who wins. Zan saying I couldn't help myself but seeing the second variant looking choked due to how the plate armour is. It should be thicker or an outwards with the plate. Pet peeves kicking in. Oh, like how little room he has to move his neck and stuff. Yeah, we can extend that out. Sure. Let's just bring it down a bit like that. There, he has more room. Okay, he looks very funny at the moment, but let's give him that cloth mask. So yes, in the end we are left with only one anti-masker, which of course is one too many, but
yep.
and yeah, I like that. The mask just always makes people look more elite.
Yeah, I like it. It's like an alternate version of the Tower Guard.
Yeah, these are the exact counter to the Tower Guard and the Adunakhori. Not the sorry, these are the Adunakhori, the Lords of Western Est.
Yeah.
The dwarves, if the dwarves kept shooting their twiddly ballistas. Oh, we don't talk about those twiddly ballistas, man.
Twiddly willies.
Oh, dearie me. That's something. Yeah, I'm not convinced by the extended edition of the fight. Like, I mean, some bits are good, but twirly whirlies just seem a bit too unrealistic. But the models for those, the actual siege engines that they use will be in the mod, but they'll just be normal ballistae. I think that's the only Erebor unit that's missing. I really like the full scale over his mouth. Oh, don't worry, it's not lost. This guy still has full scale.
Maybe this chainmail, yeah, could have more V shape because now have U.
Like that?
Yeah, more.
Like that?
Yeah, something like that. I think
Nice,
it's looking better now.
Okay, cool. Not convinced with this guy. Oh, we're switching between characters. You know, I actually am going to have to start rounding things off for today's stream, but we've done, we've got these two variants, we've sort of blocked them out. Lots of details, of course, still missing because we've got, all this armor. I want to cover it in engraving and like gold ornamentation. Some could be engraved, some could be carved, and some could have gold inlay and stuff. Maybe even some jewels of some kind. And then, of course, I want a slightly more varied helmet here, and maybe more variation on the arms. But yeah, if you've got any questions and stuff you'd like to ask, now's the time. Now's your chance. But I will call it a day on the work for today. And let's just close this. There we go. Armored Space Marine, maybe give the officer a whip. These guys are not disobedient. These guys are high-born Numenoreans. They don't need a whip. Massey Ferguson, next stream. Ooh, Fruity, were you planning on streaming next, or?
In Friday.
Ah, there you go. Potentially, I think it could have been Leo streaming tomorrow, doing campaign streaming. In which case, you've got that to look forward to. Maybe he might, or he might not. But yes, you've got Fruity's stream to look forward to as well, and a battle. We've got the Battle of the Dead Marshes on Saturday. 1122. Yeah, we need a special Umbar faction, and the guys should be elites of Umbar. Broke Harads as Saracens of Umbar. Umbar faction would be pretty cool. Again, Frusty, that could be something cool for the submod. Armoured Space Pony, they need the whip to whip commoners. They would enjoy that, that's true. Definitely. Martin Laurent, I think give the officer a black, dark red crest instead of the current wings. That's true. That's the thing. The officer would be a general. If you bring this as a general unit, the officer will be a general. So I want to make them look really, really fancy. So they'll look like this, but even more rich, I guess. But yeah, good suggestion about the crest. HK, I feel they should have black gems in their armour. Yes, good call. We could do that. Maybe like a gem here and a gem here. Maybe a sub-mod for the far future, for Umbar to be playable. Yeah. Well, you never know. I mean, in first release, probably second release as well of campaign, I doubt there'll be a faction. If we find that the South, it gets too monotonous and there's not enough fun and variation, you might see more factions getting added at a later update. So keep an open mind, of course, but as of now, no, they're not planned. But yes, with that, unfortunately, I'm going to have to call it a day. So, folks in the chat with me, thank you so much for joining me. And of course, everyone here, thank you so much for stopping by. Your support honestly means so much to the mod.
It was good to be here.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Hopefully you found it helpful.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. By the way, I never said that Matt is working on the Mahud Beast Tamers, which is looking very cool. So you'll see.
I see them everywhere I go.
Yeah. But yes, when they're ready, you'll see them in previews. But yeah, thank you, folks. We're going to call it a day. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.